Hello everyone. Welcome back from Note to Self podcast. My name is Pooh, and today's topic is balancing school and jobs. Here's
My name is Clara. Hi everyone, I'm also a student wellness ambassador.
My name is Donna, and I'm also a student wellness ambassador.
Yep. Unfortunately, Kaylin is not here today because she is sick. Anyway, we will still
miss
do
her.
it. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
we
will
miss her.
Caitlin.
Caitlin.
And today we will talk about like how to balance school and jobs because we as an ambassador we are doing the most of the hours at the student health center contributing about the mental health of the Ohlone students. Sometimes it's really hard to balance between classes and the jobs, so yeah, we will talk about that. And first of all, like we will introduce again like to our audience like what is our major and how many classes or units that we are taking this semester. And yeah. Yep.
I can go first. So, again, my name is Clara. Hey, I'm a business administration major. I am currently taking 20 credits. I think 22 because I just started a calculus class.
Booked.
Live, laugh, love. Transferring soon, yes. These are my final few weeks at CC. I'll be transferring soon. Yeah.
I don't have as many. I have 13 credits.
Still full time.
Yeah, it is still full time. I think it's like 4 big classes, and it's one credit class because I had to take it for this other program. And I'm a psychology major, and my name is Donna. Let me establish that. And what else was it? What else did you say?
Transferring soon.
Oh yeah, I am transferring soon. That's been stressful on its own.
For
but
real.
we're waiting for decisions for UC.
It's coming.
This Friday.
Fingers
Yeah.
crossed this Friday, y'all.
We'll know by the time this is out, but
Literally.
And my name is Pooh, and I'm same with Dana. I'm also taking like 13 units, but I feel very overwhelmed.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's really
it's still a
good.
lot. Yeah.
For me, I'm not transferring. I will be at Ohlone for next year. If I don't, I'm not sure, but I will see the decision because I also apply this year too. So
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
nice. Cool.
so both of us, all of us, like we taking the full units at Ohlone. So we are also like currently working as the student ambassadors. So do you work on campus like only step up program, or do you have any other programs working on the campus? Yep.
So I don't have any other jobs. I do have a lot of other extracurriculars, but I think that's like a question we'll get to later. So this is my only paid position as of now. But I also want to say that I am also taking classes at Diablo Valley College and De Anza, which is how I like spread my 20 credits.
Oh my gosh, I forgot the question already. I'm so sorry.
on
Do you work on
campus?
Oh yeah, do work on campus. Well, yeah, a step up student wellness ambassador, and I also do. I don't know if this is like considered a paid job because it is a program, but I do JLA, which is like Junior Leadership Academy.
That's a job. That's an internship. You're working.
Yeah, but they don't pay you like hourly.
Mhm.
It's like a stipend, so it's not like it doesn't really feel like a job.
Mm-hmm.
But for that one, you have to be on campus to do it. Like it's forced, mandatory. Like we have to check in every time we're on campus, which is really annoying. But and for like step up, we don't have to be on campus. A lot of the work can be done at home, which is a lot more flexible in that sense. So I do like that about this job.
Slay.
Yeah, I also work like student wellness ambassadors program, and currently I'm getting the training from international program and office like downstairs. It's for next year, but I start training this semester as well. And I'm also work off campus jobs as well. It's for financial needs. On campus jobs are just for my academic like experience and good for my resume or applications.
Damn, working hard.
Yeah, but at least like this job also paid, so it's really helpful for me as
Yeah.
well. So yeah, and it's really hard, right, like to schedule between the school classes and jobs. So we will
Totally.
move to the time management topic. So I would love to know like, do you have any struggles or stress like managing your time between the classes and your work schedules because as step up program it is flexible and sometimes you cannot give time to an event or a meeting maybe because you're busy with your classes. So do you feel any stress like managing the time between schools and jobs?
Yeah. I feel like for this question, I would have to like talk about the extracurriculars first.
Maybe we do extracurriculars first.
Yeah, is it cool if we just So extracurriculars, other than the Step Up program, I am also a member of the speech and debate team. I am also part of Aloni's Business Society, which is our business club on campus, and I also just exist in society and like have like family and socializing and trying to like have time for the gym and eating right and all those things that I personally consider to be extracurriculars because still have to do those things and fit them into my schedule. Which brings me to the question about managing time. I definitely do struggle because prioritizing all of my responsibilities can be really hard. Like, especially, like, if I have a speech and debate competition, that could take up my entire weekend. So, like, now I have to push all my classwork into the weekday, but I also have to get business club stuff done and step up stuff, and there's tabling, and there's always something going on. I feel like the only thing keeping me together is my Google Calendar, for real, because it, like, blocks out every hour of my day. But yeah, like, it's definitely stressful, for sure.
For me, my extracurriculars, well, of course, Step Up, the JLab program, and then I'm also part of a club, which I haven't been going to because it's during, like, last week I had an appointment, so I couldn't do anything on Wednesday, and they're like every other Wednesday. Sometimes those Wednesdays are kind of, we have meetings for the student wellness ambassadors, so they overlap, so I can't do it. So it's definitely a struggle to fit everything. Oh, the club name is called Dreamers Without Borders, so it's kind of giving voice to people who come from different status families or who are undocumented or who just want to be allies and raise awareness to the issues of the community. But similarly to Claire, I use Google Calendar. I also, like, in the Mac, there's like these little stickies. They're literally called stickies, and I put like all the stuff that I have to do and I color code it, which helps because, you know, I'm always on my computer, so I can just have those up. And then also reminders, because, you know, short-term memory, you forget those little things to do. But those help me.
I also use the Google Calendars, and I just use the reminders from Google Calendar. For example, like give me notification 30 minutes before or send me email.
It does have that,
And the sticky notes one, I use the paper sticky notes and put it everywhere.
Physical? That's smart.
So put it everywhere, but I don't use the planner because it doesn't work for me.
Like physical planner?
Physical planner.
I used to use it, but then it got so tedious to actually write everything in.
Exactly.
And I feel like I never done all the text that I write it down. So I just recalling, like, but I have to recall many times. Like, for example, this morning while I was showering, what I have to do, I recall it.
Yeah, I do that too sometimes.
So, but it is very, like, sometimes I can forget, right? So it's better to use the planner rather than, like, using our memory because memory doesn't very long and good.
It isn't reliable.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
No, like, I've been using, I don't know if y'all have used this, it's like the Reminders app.
Yeah,
Like, that's like on Apple. I was sleeping on it for so long, but recently it's been really working for me. But I will say, like, every morning, regardless, like, I'll wake up from my sleep and instantly start thinking about all the things I have to do.
It's so stressful.
It's just so stressful. It's also April, so it's the most treacherous part of the year. But yeah, we're here.
Yeah, it's also when, like, professors decide to give you, like, those big assignments. Like, all of a sudden you have a project and, like, an essay due, and, like,
I have an exam, like, 40 exams due Sunday, 11:59. Like,
the weekend doesn't even feel like a weekend anymore.
it doesn't. It really doesn't.
And for me, like, I also do extracurricular activity. No, I don't know I can say, but I'm a part of, like, the ASOC R&D team, like, to organize the STEM Summit. So every Sunday morning, I don't have work, but I have a meeting for STEM Summit.
Sunday? They make
Yeah,
you
Sunday
do-
morning.
Girl.
It's on the 26th, right?
Yeah,
STEM Summit?
STEM
Yay!
Summit. It's coming on 26th. So I still need to devote some hours for STEM Summit because even though like it's not a paid job, so I mean it's count. And even though it's not an official job for me, like I'm an international student, I live by my own. Every Sunday, like I have to go to grocery shopping by bus
Oh,
and
yeah.
come back and do laundry and then cook for the whole week. And
Mhm.
it's not a day I have to rest, but rather than a day like I'm managing all my stuffs like for the coming next week.
Mhm.
So yeah, I consider those kind of things as my jobs too because
Yeah,
I
they
still
are jobs.
yeah.
They are jobs.
100%. Yeah.
They're unpaid labor. But they're jobs.
So so we talk about the applications that we use like in managing the time and do you have any advice for maybe like future ambassadors because we are now like the applications
season.
already
Yeah.
done
There's
the
like a-
interview yeah the interview is coming soon and do you have any advice for ambassadors because the step-up program also like very flexible job but at the same time um it's like sometimes for me personally sometimes to give my schedule stable schedule to give my stable schedule is a little bit difficult because yeah it's not a fixed schedule right so
Yeah, it always changes every week. Yeah.
so do you want to give any advice to our next ambassadors or maybe any students here at Ohlone College who study and jobs at the same time?
Totally. The most amazing thing about the Step Up program is how understanding our staff are. Like, if you can't pull through, if you're not emotionally able, physically able, whatever it may be, the staff here are so accommodating. So, to all the future ambassadors, my biggest piece of advice would be to just be honest with our staff. Like, be transparent, let them know where you're at so that if you can't complete something on time or you can't make a meeting, they're in the know. Communication is very key. I would also say to stay up to date on Slack, and usually when we get invites for events, it's always on Google Calendar. So make sure you're accepting those invites, staying on Google Calendar, knowing when you gotta be at certain things, and be on Slack. Slack. Notifications on.
Yeah, I have to agree with Clara with the communication. I think it's very, like right when you start your training, Erin is very open about being like, talk to me, don't be afraid to come to me if you have any issues. Definitely take her up on that because she means it. And just be as honest as you can. I know sometimes it could be a little hard to admit that you're struggling, but the program here is to help students reduce that stigma. So it starts with ourselves, trying to give ourselves a little leeway. And also, like Clara said, Slack. If you miss one day, you'll open it, and then all of a sudden there's like 30 different stuff, like articles they've sent, or like events, or forms you have to fill out. So definitely try to check it maybe at the end of the day just to see everything that's been sent.
Yeah.
And also, yeah, what she said about the Google Calendar. I gave my Outlook email, so like I gave my student email, so all my invites are on the Outlook, but it's basically the same thing. They pop up on the little calendar. So if you want it to be on Google, if you want all your events to be on Google, definitely give your Gmail. Don't give your student email. That would be my advice.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Slack is the platform we use to message each other.
It's like Discord.
Like
kind of.
Discord, but like professional.
Yeah, and more
Yeah.
fun. There's like these little emojis.
Emojis, live chat, call.
Oh yeah, there is that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And I agree with Clara and Dana, like communication is key because especially we step up program have different kinds of programs, small programs like magazine, podcasts, tabling, canvas updates and so on, like presentation groups. So there may be notification on Slack, but as long as you keep track on Slack and communicate with your peer ambassadors or mentors like Erin, Sang, Sui, you should be fine. So, yep.
Yay.
And with each other, communicate with each other as well.
Yeah.
Because that's really important.
Yeah, we have our little group chat.
Yeah.
Text
Secret?
up in there.
And yes, we already talked about the classes that we are taking, the jobs that we do on campus or off campus, and how we are managing our time, like giving as an example of stepper program. And I want to know like why how did you find this job, and what this work means to you. Not only this job, you both Clara and Dana also do like extracurricular activities, right? How this means to you, like in finance, it means to you financially, or it means to you as an academic experience, or yeah.
Good question.
Yeah.
Wanna go first?
So I found this job. I don't remember where I found it. Actually, yeah, I do. So I applied. This is my second year applying. I applied in the fall, but I procrastinated too much, and there's like a time deadline where you have to submit your application, and I missed it by like 3 minutes, and then I got like an email where it's like, unfortunately you missed the deadline. I was like, okay, fine. So I didn't get to do it last semester or last academic year, but this year I knew about it because of last semester or last academic year, whatever. But I don't remember like where I saw it. I don't remember if I saw like a flyer, or if it was on social media, or if they put it on Canvas. So I apologize for that, but it was probably on Canvas because they have the little electronic flyers. And what it means to me, I knew this was a program meant not only to reduce mental stigma, but also to build a community. When I was in high school, I didn't really feel like I belonged anywhere. I was definitely that student where I would just go to school and go home, go to school, go home. I never did anything extra with my time. So I felt like this was kind of like a second chance to really build connections and help other people build connections, because humans need connections to be healthy. Isolation isn't really good for us. So if I could help someone make a friend or just feel like they were part of something, that was very important to me, which is one of the big reasons why I wanted to be part of this program.
Yeah, I love that. So for me, it's a couple components. Actually, first, the way I found out about this program was through Azan. Shout out Azan. We were both at an ICC meeting last academic year, and Azan was just really pubbing the program, and the way it was described was just the most amazing opportunity, so flexible. But what really caught me was the mental health support and advocacy. That's something that is so important to me, and everywhere I have went and everywhere I plan on going, I want mental health advocacy, the destigmatization of the conversation, just like social acceptance of mental and physical health. I want that to be taken with me everywhere I go. So doing it at Aloni felt right. It felt like something I needed to do, and I was so proud to know that this program existed. And especially hearing about like student wellness counselors, like students having the opportunity to counsel their peers and to really just get involved on the psychological level, that was so enticing to me. Like I really wanted to be a part of it. And as a business major, like it doesn't necessarily help with my business career, but I think that's on paper. Like I think no matter what, having psychology experience, knowing how to communicate with people, and focusing on mental health, that's something that's transferable to any career. And just because in business it's not something that's talked about doesn't mean that it can't be something that's talked about. So like I said, just really getting involved because I'm passionate about it, but wanting to take it everywhere that I travel through my journey. Yeah.
That's a good one. And for me, like I really believe like connecting different dots, like even though it's related or unrelated. For example, like Dana is majoring in psychology, right? So it's like I don't know how to say it, like it's really related, right? But
Yeah,
other students other students like Clara or me, like it sounds like unrelated, but for me when I apply this job, like we know like we will learn like any new things from STEPA program, even though it's maybe related or not to our major. So that makes me believe to and encourage me to apply this job. So I know this job from S4E. I'm an international student. I was very struggling like when I arrived to Ohlone, and so my counselor assigned me with them in a mentorship program. So Sui was my mentor. So I met with Sui like uh once per 2 weeks in a man, like so 2 times per man. So one day like she shared this information like to apply the job. So I'm not in the position to interview you, but you apply and get if you get it you get it. So she was like that. And also I at that time I was one of my classes is public health. The professor also shared this information to apply this job. So I just applied, like even though it is not related. But from this program, like my interpersonal skill, because I'm very introverted, I don't talk to many people, and I also feel very isolated on campus because I'm not joining any clubs like at the in the first year. So after I've done my classes, I just go back to home and that's it. So very isolated. I just want to be a part of Ohlone community. So luckily the STEPA program, I know the ambassadors, all ambassadors have a wide range of networks. So for example, from all of you, I know the people from ASOC or something like that. Like so it makes me like expand my network as well. And like communication and teamwork skill from STEPA program. And at the same time, like from training, like we have to learn about the mental health, right? I this kind of like knowledge help me writing some assignments in English classes because I write those assignments from mental health point of view. So it's still helping me a lot. So yeah, I really love this job.
Awesome. Yay. I think like I've worked at Hollister, I've worked at Mainland, like a skate shop, like I've worked in the city, like done tech, and I will say that this is the only job I've had. It does not feel like a job, and it's so rewarding. Like the other jobs that I had were either solely for getting like experience or money. Like that was it. Like I had to, get food at the end of the day. But this job, like, I don't care if I'm not paid. I mean, like, I would like to be, but I don't want to leave, like, this role. Like, it is a bummer. Like, I only have a few weeks left, but this job has just been the best.
And it flies by, too.
Flies.
And it's also really nice to see, like, little things of what we've done around campus. Like, when I'm walking around and I see, like, the flyers that other ambassadors have made, I'm like, oh, I know who made that. And you just kind of feel like this connection and this like little tight-knit family in a way. And it's just like, I don't know, you feel like you're in like this web of things, and it might not be like totally visible to the people on campus, but at least you know, and that at least makes a difference in your day. And it's really just rewarding and nice, like you said.
It's so lovely, like how much to see, like how much we really love this job.
Yeah.
And at the same time, we got like rewards as a paid job. So at the end of the month, we got paid.
Yeah. It's great to like what you do and get paid.
Yeah.
And
Work
we
is
also got. Oh, sorry.
No, you go ahead. You
You
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
You go ahead.
No, I was about to say like we also got like big appreciation from our mentors, like Erin. They always appreciate. I really love to see like this appreciation. They appreciate every little things the ambassadors do for the program and the campus and Ohlone students as well. So.
Yeah, it's really nice to just get like a good job. You know, like it's very small and like kind of insignificant in the long run, but in the moment it just feels like the world to just be told that you're doing a good job and that you're making a difference.
Yeah.
Yay. And yeah, we talk about like how we really love this job, and maybe we will talk about like we not only we have a lot of extracurricular activities and at the same time official job positions as well. So do you think like these extracurricular activities and the jobs on campus, like they somehow like impact your grades, because grades is also important. Both of you are transferring, and these days like the standards are very high, like to get to the school that we really want to, like UC Berkeley or UCLA or maybe other private schools as well. And
Yeah.
I would love to know, like which university are you aiming to transfer?
The big question.
Yeah, and maybe how do you think?
Just Berkeley trauma.
Yeah, it's like Friday. It's
Yeah.
Friday.
Yeah.
It's too much.
I checked it yesterday. I was like, maybe they did it early. No, they didn't. They want to torture us.
They really do. And I'm waiting until the 27th to open because I am doing like an OBS tour to UC Berkeley for business club.
You don't want to know before.
Yeah, because you know,
Oh.
God forbid, and then I have to still pull up 7 days later to Berkeley. That would be crazy. So I'm just gonna discipline myself for another week,
That's gonna be.
which is gonna be rough, TBH. Well, I mean, we'll see what I do. We'll see. Y'all will find out soon in our next podcast
Oh, yeah, hopefully better
episode.
than us.
But
Yeah.
yeah, wow.
My heart just started racing. talking about that.
Yeah, so exciting. And
Excited.
it would be so exciting, like not to see the results and or
Like a gender reveal.
yeah.
Gender reveal.
Or like how they do with like football players where they have like all the hats.
Yeah, I'm like, okay. No, my grades, like, the question,
Mhm.
my grades, oh my god. So,
It's not about to tell your grades, but how it.
How they can make.
Oh, yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
impacts your
totally, I wasn't about
opinion,
to
because
share.
there's
Air yourself
I
out.
wasn't about to air myself out. My grades have been okay. Like, for the most part, I'm taking online classes other than calculus, which has been so clutch. So far, so good. But I have been slacking. Like, because it's online, it's easier when it's like a mindless assignment. But then for my philosophy class, like, you would think, okay, easy breezy, elective.
It's
No. Like, so many essays, my teacher is such a hard grader.
Mhm.
And then, you know, my actual business class, breeze. But,
It's always like your major classes are the easiest ones.
yeah, so I'm like just trying really hard to get on top of that. Like geology, philosophy, those are my two that I'm like, what is this?
Fighting demons.
Fighting my philosophy geo demons. It's rough, but my advice to y'all, if you are taking a lot of extracurriculars and you have a lot of classes, just tell your teachers like, yo, I have a lot going on. Because if you miss an assignment, because chances are you might just forget because you have stuff going on. If you just tell your teachers in the beginning, like, I am an extremely busy student, they're going to be more lenient. Because if you just, like, miss an assignment and then don't tell them what's happening, you're not getting those points, babe. You're not.
Also, like, a grade is better than no grade. So at least turn in something, you know?
Mm.
We're
For
working on it.
me, for me, I mean, I don't want to brag,
Get into it.
I've been doing well. I mean, good, the highest you can get, I guess. But
Very well.
Slay.
but I guess that's always kind of been like my own expectation. Like I always, you know, like the whole academic validation. Like I've always been very driven by that. If a teacher just gives me like a little emoji happy face, like that's like everything to me. Even though it probably took them like 0.3 seconds to read the assignment.
Yeah.
But I would say for me, like I don't really know because I feel like I suck. Actually, like I feel like I suck. Like recently, I've been on my phone a lot. Like on Saturday, I went to sleep at 10 a.m. Like 10 a.m. I went to sleep.
10 a.m.
Yeah. And it wasn't doing homework. I wasn't doing anything like actually productive. I was just on my phone. And like
10 a.m.?
Yeah, 10 a.m. Like I woke up and then I didn't sleep for like 12 hours and then I went to sleep at 10 a.m.
Wow.
I know. It's like not healthy. It's not healthy. I don't promote this lifestyle. But I would say like really, I don't know. It's like, I don't really know. Like I'm still struggling with it, honestly. But with assignments, just try your best. I just try my best. And also, like actually do the reading. Like I would say take like 3 weeks to actually do everything the professor expects of you, and then once you actually get the hang of the class, when you see like, oh, like the tests don't really have book material, don't read the book anymore. Just watch the lectures. Like I would say rely, if it's an online class, just rely on the lectures. The book is always extra stuff they usually are never gonna cover. And for the little quizzes, just skim the textbook. The main ideas are probably gonna be on the quiz. Just be kind of smart, work smarter, not harder. That's been my motto forever. And like Clara said, communicate with your professor, because sometimes they'll be a little annoying, but most of the time they'll understand. Especially Ohlone professors, I think they understand that life just happens.
Yeah.
So it just takes you just sending that email, which I know can be scary, but I mean, if you don't let your issues be known, no one's gonna help you. So, yeah, that's what I would say.
Yeah.
But I'm still struggling myself, so.
And I also like only, I mean, I think some only not all professor, maybe, because I'm not teaching with all professor, but some of my
Like
professor,
STEM professors, a little.
they understandable like the situations that we have, so maybe they can postpone the due dates or give you some extra credits or something like that. And I agree with Dana, sometimes you need to study smart and know. For me, like I have a sometimes I have English assignment, but it's all about the discussion. So the professor, she don't see the what I write instead what I post or not. So I get grades. So sometimes I think we have to know like what the professor wants and how it is graded. So yeah, it's really important. And also, we have to tentative it like at least something, so at least we get some grades rather than not posting anything. And I'm literally struggling with geology too.
Geology, man.
Is that like the maps?
The rocks.
Oh, the rocks.
The rocks are readings.
You would think it was a simple class.
No, there's like 20 million rocks.
Yeah, it's not just igneous, sedimentary, metamorphic anymore. It's going crazy. Yeah.
I'm taking like a bio class. It's like genetics and what's the other one? Genetics and hereditary. Yeah, and that's hard. Like I'm out here learning about chromosomes, sexual reproduction, which I aced that.
All right.
That class is hard.
Yeah, and so it's so do you think like your extracurricular activity is still impacting your grades, or you guys are still doing good?
I would say when I did the small time when I did like sports, they always emphasize you're a student athlete, not an athlete student. So always make sure that you're doing your homework first. Like these are extra stuff. That's why it's extracurriculars. So make sure, like, if you're in a club meeting, for example, and you can't make it, just tell people you can't make it. Like, it's not life or death. Always make sure to put your grades first. Especially if you're considering transferring, like, you need to make sure you look attractive enough where your grades are good, but you're also doing extra stuff. But make sure your grades look better, right? Like, you need to make sure that you understand you're a student first. And of course, if your life is more important, right? Like, prioritize your life goals. I mean, not your life goals, like your life, like stuff that happens in your life. I don't know how to put that.
Personal life.
Yeah, like personal life. But if it comes to extracurriculars in school, like, prioritize school, I would say.
Yeah. No, like, just to, like, tap into mental health for a sec, too. You never know when you're going to be depressed. You never know when you'll be sad or when something happens. So it's always important to build in, like, pillows. Like, you've talked to your professor. They know what you have going on. You've talked to, like, your staff, whatever jobs you're a part of, your club advisors. Like, it's important to communicate. But overall, like, it's your life. It's nobody else's life except for yours, and whatever you need to do, just focus on you. And I know for, like, the college transfer, it's really easy to just get caught up in, like, throwing on a bunch of extracurriculars and shooting for that 4.0, but if you're not mindful throughout it all about your wants and needs just as a person, when it comes to actually writing the PIQs, they're not going to be authentic. And PIQs are personal insight questions if you're applying to the UCs, but you still want to be mindful, be present, and try your best because those PIQs are important. Like a 4.0 and a lot of extracurriculars that were just mindlessly done and completed with like PIQs that are mid. Like I've heard people that have 3.5 GPAs that had really good PIQs, amazing story, and they got into Berkeley, and a student with a 4.0 with an PIQ, like you don't get in. So being well-rounded is important, but it's even more important to be mindful and actually care about what you're doing. And I mean, regardless, like caring about what you're doing makes what you're doing better, like
Yeah, that's true.
more interesting. So pick things that you really are passionate about, and then everything else will just fall in line.
Yeah. Even us, I don't think we're doing all that much. I'm only doing one club, and
I'm doing too much.
yeah.
I'm doing too
Yeah.
much. So I need to chill. But the thing is, nothing that I'm doing I don't want to do. Like I've had people tell me like, okay, stop.
Pump the brakes.
But yeah, like what are you gonna drop? What are you gonna drop? There's nothing I want to drop. But you know what I did do is I cut back in certain areas. Like speech and debate, I was having like a 3-hour practices 2 times a week plus comps plus preparing speeches. Like it was a lot. Yeah. And I talked to my coach, and now I'm doing like 1 hour to 1.5 practices 2 times a week. I have like did my last comp during the entire season already, so I cut down a lot of my hours, and that allowed me to be much more present as an ambassador for like Aloni Business Society, like delegating my jobs instead of taking it all on and being honest, like, hey, I don't have the capacity. That has been my sentence the past couple months. I don't have the capacity.
You said it like 3
so
times.
many times because it's real. And like with transparency too, like the past couple months have also been like some of the hardest for me, like mental health wise. So I have to make a choice. Like I want to stay in these extracurriculars, but I also want to be live. So I have to like cut down in certain areas, and in like a step up explanation of being alive, because I feel like I have to preface, just like not just being like here and like being physically here, but like being actually engaged
present,
present. That's what I mean by alive, like really like feeling what I'm doing. That's important to me, so I had to cut back to get to that.
Yeah, I have to give kudos for that, because it takes a lot of strength to be like, I can't do all this. Like, especially if you're passionate about it, because you want to do it, because it brings you joy, it brings you like some kind of purpose, but to actually acknowledge like, oh, I just can't, it takes a lot of like strength and like a lot of like awareness to do. So.
Thank you. Like throughout this podcast, I thought of like 3 other extracurriculars I'm doing. Yeah, like there's a lot going on, and I am proud of myself and everybody around that has been acknowledging when it's too much for them, because it's hard. Yeah.
And it's not really easy like to balance between your extracurricular activities and the school and classes to maintain the highest GPA that you want, or the school that you want to get in. And I think sometimes we need to prioritize what we really want. For example, if we prioritize the academic records, so we maintain the GPA, it is priority. So you do as Dana said, you do the assignments fast, and then you do the other jobs late. In order. So yeah.
Totally.
It's hard though.
It is hard. Do you want to talk more about like balancing mental health throughout all of it too?
Yeah, I was gonna mention also, like, you mentioned like a lot of the like unpaid labor that you do, like the cooking, the cleaning, and all that, and I feel like that's in itself like a job, and sometimes we forget to do it. Like sometimes I forget to just like, I wrote out my schedule, but then I'm like, wait, when am I gonna eat? When am I gonna shower? When am I gonna work out? When am I gonna do this? Like, yeah, like when am I gonna like just take a moment to just freaking breathe? Which I feel like that also adds to the thing, but that's just such a human thing we have to do. But I feel like with the way that life is and that hustler mentality, it doesn't really allow you to just kind of be just be. You know, just like if you want to sit down and stare at the clouds or freaking stare at the birds,
Mhm.
you can't. Like you
Yeah.
like you literally can't, because there's no time, and like time is money, and
Mm.
we've been taught that since we were little. It's
Mhm.
just like it's so exhausting to constantly be like, well, what's the next thing? What's the next thing? So personally, for me, it feels like I'm always on like overdrive, trying to, you know, like how when you're using your MacBook, you hear the little fan. That's me.
Yeah.
Like that's me all the time.
Yeah, that's pretty real. Like, we had like our wellness wonderland, our health fair,
Mhm.
and we focused on the 8 dimensions of wellness.
Mhm.
Dang, it is so hard to maintain all of them. Like being physically active, like going to the gym, like eating right, um, having a job, having the grades, being mentally like healthy. All of that stuff is really tough.
And being social.
Yeah,
Yeah.
socializing, and then like family too is
Oh,
a
yeah.
huge thing. And personally, like all of my dimensions per se have been kind of off. Like it's been hard for me to maintain everything because like I've been having like family things going on, personal things going on, school things, extracurricular things. So it's definitely hard to balance. I think that what's keeping me going is the people in my life, for sure. Like I'm really blessed. Like I have amazing people to go to when I'm really in it, and I am really in it, and it doesn't feel like I'm doing it alone. Cause like high school, that was a crazy time. I was like alone, like literally like Donna said, like just going there to go there and then leaving. Felt very like isolated, and that was a hard time. And it feels like there's no end of it. But now that I have people, I'm like, yeah, I'll be good. Like I'll be fine. Once decisions are out, I know half my stress is gonna be gone.
I don't think so.
But that's I'm like depending on what I get back, the half of the
Because
stress
the
will
stress
be
is
gone.
picking where you're gonna go.
Yeah, that's true. I don't really.
I don't have like a top school. Like, I'm just like,
You don't.
yeah, you know how there's people that are like, I need to go to UCLA. Like if I don't go there, like I think my life will be over.
I feel
I'm just
that.
like, I mean, if it's a good school, that's like a bonus. But at the end of the day, we're all gonna have the same degree.
Mhm.
It's just like a social thing, and be like, oh, I went to Stanford. Like, okay.
It is a
Like,
social thing though, and like that contributes to my stress for sure. That's why I've been itching and scratching over it because I don't want to say I didn't get in. Like, ugh, it's stressful.
just lie.
I get it, but then they like look on my LinkedIn in 10 years. Oh, okay.
But it's like if you got in, you could have been like, but I didn't choose it though, cause like
I got
A,
into
B, C, D.
Haas, but I decided to go to SJSU.
That's such a, it's also the thing, like for me, like I worked so hard for everything that, I mean, we've all worked so hard for everything that we've done, the grades, the extracurriculars, the questions, and it's to, at the end of the day, to be like, oh yeah, I went to East Bay. Like, girl,
But
you
no,
could do so
there's
much
no,
better.
like,
There's nothing
there's
wrong.
no tea with that.
There's nothing wrong with that, but it's just like you're like, let's be real, like you would be sort of disappointed in yourself, because it's like I feel like I could do better than that, and like it goes back to like the social thing where at the end of the day it doesn't really matter where you go, it's still the same degree, but there's this like society thing where you have to kind of be the best, right? But then my fear also is like when you go to one of the best schools in the country or in the state, you're against all these other great students, so it's like you were great here, but now you're just average over there.
Real.
So it's just like,
Yeah, especially Berkeley. Like, you know what I learned about Berk is you can't, I think it's at Haas specifically, maybe, I don't know, but you can't get an A unless you are top 10 in the class. Even if percentage-wise you have an A, if you're not the
that
top
has to be
10,
Haas.
you get bumped down to like a B.
Oh yeah.
I
That's
know,
to be
it's
illegal.
great. It must be, but you know it's Haas. They can do whatever they want. So it's giving stressed. Society, everything, just trying to keep afloat. It's been crazy.
And just being like a human being too. Like you can be a robot and be like the best student ever, but then like do you have a social life? Do you have friends?
Literally. Do you have friends? Like, no,
And-
that's hard.
And I think like for example like we have 8 dimension of wellness, right? But we
Yeah.
cannot do like every 8 dimension of wellness. Let's divide by
By two.
2.
Yeah.
So 40.
4 years.
Four.
So
Dude, math isn't our forte.
Yeah,
Math
yeah.
isn't our forte.
I'm a
Yeah.
business major. I don't even.
The calculator does all your math.
so I don't think like, and also like I don't think I can maintain all these like equally,
Yeah,
rather
Yeah.
than like I prioritize. For example, even though like this semester I mean I cannot really focus on my studies, so my grades, especially like for example like geology subject, like it's really bad,
The rocks.
but the rocks
The rocks
sucks.
are-
It's horrible.
And I don't think like, even though like, and it makes me think like, are you gonna give up your extracurricular activities because your grades are really bad? But I would say no, like, because for me like social connections are really important.
Yeah.
Because this will be a really these connections will be really helpful for my future careers. But rather than that, academic records really important to like to get into the school that we want, like, but it's maybe like 3.7 is average, then it will consider our application, for example. So we need to get the average GPA at the same time. For me, I also prioritize the extracurricular activities too, because it's one of the important things in our like networking or the careers.
There's just a lot to think about at all times. I think that's what gets me is at this point in the year, there's been no time to chill. Like, weekends are really weekends. Like, I used to, like last semester, every Sunday, not talk to anybody.
Yeah, I
not
remember you
leave
had
the
that.
house, like hibernating. And this semester, I don't talk to people because I don't have time. Like, it's different. Like, I wake up, I work until 11:59, like, doing homework, step up stuff, business club stuff, just whatever it is. Like, there is no time to just do the hibernation and, like, rot for a day. Because that's all I want. Like, all I want to do is just nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and, like, not feel bad about it.
Yeah, that's
Heavy
the
on
big
that.
thing. That's the big thing. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll say I'm like, every week it's like, once this is over, I'll catch a
but
break.
But then you have like the next thing for next week. Yeah.
Once after the 26th, I am pretty cruising until finals. So.
But it's already final.
I had a
Ah,
test like last week. Oh no, like it was due yesterday.
yeah, I have an exam due Sunday. But you know what, like,
Dude, I'd be sweating during those tests, especially if they're timed. Like I'm like,
sweating.
yeah. Like I had one for my Chicano studies class. We only had an hour and a half, and we had to write like 6 essays. I'm like, dude.
And heck no.
Yeah, and I used all of it. I think I had like 3 seconds left before I submitted,
Ooh.
but I got 100, so.
Okay. Crazy.
Alright.
That's when you
So-
take those energy drinks.
Okay, alright. We will move to the last point that we talk about, like as Clara mentioned, like about the mental health. How you take between the studies and the jobs, and how you take a moment like to rest your mental,
Yeah, like
your
reset.
reset yourself. And at the same time, do you also think like this job, because these, for example, like the step up program, or we still socializing, right, between ambassadors
Yeah.
or with other students, like during our tabling events or other events. So do you think like these jobs allow you to socialize enough, or do you think sometimes you might also have other friends, like not at Oloni, but you still want to meet with them maybe on weekend, but you don't have time, but you need to study, you need to finish your assignments, or you still have work to do, so you cannot be like frequently meet with your friends from other college or with your family members. So the first question is, I forgot.
The first question was.
Mental health.
Mental
like,
health,
Wait,
yeah.
mental health, how do you reset yourself?
yourself?
Yeah.
And do you think are you socializing enough, like between
Yeah, with the program,
the
right?
jobs, yeah.
With the program.
I think that these days it's been hard to like truly reset mentally because I'm always in a state of stress, to be honest, like waking up till like I go to bed. And that's just how it is right now. Like, it's not gonna be like that forever. I think what gets me out of like really negative headspaces is Thinking about summer, for sure.
Summer.
Summer so soon.
But then summer you have to transfer, so you have to move all your stuff. Well, if you're dorming.
dorming.
That's what I think about. That's how I get stressed.
I won't. No matter where I go, I'm not gonna dorm. I'm gonna get a little apartment.
Yeah, but you still have to move. And get a lease. And get roommates maybe if it's too expensive. If you're going to Berkeley.
Okay.
I'm like the devil on the shoulder.
But yeah, trying to focus on summer and trying to focus on the fact that I'm gonna be 21 in July. 21. And I'm trying to focus on just like chill. Like sometimes it makes me angry, but we are so small in the universe. Sometimes I'm like, rip, I want to be big. But
You just want to be what?
big, like I want to be like big, like in the universe. You know how it's like you're just like a little speck.
You want to be like a planet.
Sometimes I'm like I want to be the sun. But other times like it's kind of like soothing. Like I'm just a speck, and like my journey is my journey, and whatever happens, you know. That kind of helps sometimes.
For me, I try to take like little moments. So whenever I'm brushing my teeth, if I want to watch a show, I watch a show. Or whenever I'm like, so when I eat dinner, I'm kind of bad at it. Like I should not be on my phone.
iPad kid.
I know I am an iPad kid. I'm sorry. I think most of us are iPad kids.
Yeah, at this point.
We didn't grow up with iPads. We're definitely iPad adults.
iPad.
So I always take, I know those are like not, it should be moments where you should be like present, not really electronically present. But if that's a way where you feel like you can just kind of disassociate from all your stressful things that are hanging over your head, I would say take it. You know, it's not like Clara said, you're just a speck. Like take those 10 minutes, take those 30 minutes to just do what you want that feels like it's going to make your day a little bit better. Because tomorrow that assignment's still going to be there. You can do it tomorrow or whatever it is. I had something else to say, but I forgot.
That's okay.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, the point that you said, like, tomorrow we will have the assignments, and it's
so
never
weird.
ending. Like, if I thought, like, after high school, I thought, like, I don't need to study anymore, but
Or you
that's
wrong.
the very, like, brainwashing, the yeah, the athlete people, like older people, especially my parents and some of my cousins, they brainwash me like I don't need to study anymore, so study hard in your high school and get the like in Myanmar, like we got the distinction, we have to in high school we have to study 6 subjects, so study hard, you don't need to study anymore after high school. That's how they brainwash me. But I don't think so, and I realized there's after high school we still need to study, after bachelor degree you still need to study something, after PhD you still need to work on something, so there is never ending life, and it's important to take a break and accept it if you really need a break, and take it. And these days I need to prioritize my health too, so that is one of my goal. And for me, like for socializing, I don't know about the other ambassadors, but for me, like I don't socialize that much, but this network is like I feel like I'm socializing enough, so
Like I reached my limit.
Yeah. I'm doing great.
Yeah,
and
everybody
that's
has like a different degree of how much they can do.
the way we measure.
Yeah, like there's times where I'm hanging out with people and all of a sudden I just kind of drop, like I just can't do it anymore. Like it's just kind of, you just hit like a stop.
Alright, I think we talk a lot about the balancing schools and jobs and how it impacts our mental health and what it jobs mean to us, and also and extracurricular activities and a lot. So do you want to give any final advice to our viewers?
Do you
And
focus on yourself? That's my only advice.
about like
There was
balancing
more to the
schools and jobs.
question.
No. Yeah, that's all my question. Like, do you want to give any final advice to the viewers about related to like how balancing schools and jobs and extracurricular activities.
I would say to give yourself grace. Like, we're not all perfect. Like, us sitting here, we all have our own stuff that other people may or may not know about. So it's just like, just give yourself time. Like, I know it seems like you don't have time, but you do. Like, in the grand scheme of things, like, you do. And at the end of the day, you matter most. Like, school, you can do a class next semester. It's not, that class isn't just going to disappear out of thin air. And I know it feels like you have to follow this like timeline that society has set out for us, but everybody has a different path. So don't feel like you have to follow what your peers are following. Just do what feels right for you and what feels right in the moment.
Agreed. Yeah, just do your thing, focus on yourself, and there's just so much opportunity in community college to learn about yourself and what you want. So, yeah, just try to be intentional, and it goes by really fast. So, try to tap in whenever you can. Be mindful.
Really fast.
Yeah.
I also agree, like, don't try to compare with other people. Just focus on ourselves and yourself. And it's really important, as Dana said, like, we have different pathways, and it cannot be the same. We cannot follow our other people like the way, and also take a moment yourself, like between the studies and the jobs, and also don't overwhelm. Go slowly, like step by step, and it will be fine for you. Yeah. So here is the end of the Note to Self podcast. For today, we talk about the job balancing schools and jobs, and thank you so much for listening our podcast program. We will see you with we'll see you soon with final episodes with yearly recap. See you soon. Bye.
Bye.